Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And a beautiful Monday morning it is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I certainly hope you had a wonderful weekend. As a matter of fact, it was Mother's Day weekend. You know what? We celebrate moms every day. But that's the day yesterday that's been set aside that we recognize all the moms. Trusting you had a wonderful day, because I tell you, as I walked around and I was seeing people, talking to people, to see the love that's carried, I think we need to spread that even more, because love is the key, believe it or not. Well, listen, it is Monday, and every single day we come in with information that's utterly important to the community, and that's what we've got today. First of all, you know I have my coffee and my donuts on Monday, and I want to thank Parlor Donuts right here at 120 Palafox Street for their homemade desserts and their freshly brewed coffee. Look at those donuts. Oh, wow. That's a meal within itself. That donut right there has bacon on it. Wow. That's a donut. But listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Dr. Justice. You know what? I don't want to mess up your last name. Pronounce your last name for me.
Mbizo.
Oh, I had it right. Mbizo. Okay, I have just one.
Very close.
I'm close.
Very
We've
close.
got Dr. Justice Mbizo from University of West Florida, and we're going to be talking about a very important topic today.
Absolutely important.
And we're talking about breast cancer.
Breast cancer, the scourge that's haunting the community,
Yes.
our region, and our state.
Yes, it is.
In fact, nationally, really, it's a big
Exactly.
issue. Yep.
And you know, I want to say, first of all, thank you, because from the time that I sat down and talked with you last week, and I saw and I see the emphasis that you're putting in this is so from the heart, that because it is it's out there. And I was reading also, Dr. Justice, that in our community, in the African American community,
Yep.
we're the ones that it rushes through faster because of the lack of the testing.
Correct. Semi-correct. What is happening is that many people, by the time they get screened or the cancer is detected, there's already a lot of problems happening, and the disease is caught at a very late stage.
Okay.
Which makes it extremely expensive to treat and very difficult in many cases.
Really, I guess so, because if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4,
Yep.
if it's the fourth stage, that it's it costs more to treat the disease.
Correct.
Because if and I know this, I speak this all the time. Early detection saves lives.
Early detection saves lives.
Early detection.
And that is the work of the Florida Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program that is rolled out throughout the state, highly funded and actively engaged with the different partners. That's where we are.
Right.
And I lead, in fact, 2 programs. One is called the regional one. It's a Northwest Florida Cancer Control Collaborative.
Oh.
It seems a small thing, but like the mustard seed, it is a very translational thing that if one understands what it was created for by the state, to be a presence in the community, in the region, we can effect change.
Exactly.
We can have a good, positive impact on people.
Right. Let me ask you something, Dr. Justice, because if you are working with the region and, of course, locally, and you see the need that we need for us to get that, test early, test, self-test, go get tested. What is it that you think it is? Is there a fear that we may find out something? Is there a lack of saying, well, what I don't know won't hurt me? I mean, is it a fear, you think, because you've worked with this so long, so much of put into it, that do you think that there's a fear that we find out what's wrong, that's what's going to keep us?
There's a lot of things that people are dealing with. Each person has their own challenges and trying to balance a lot of competing things.
Okay.
Some of those factors may indeed influence people to do that.
Really?
We are currently actually conducting a data collection from Escambia County to Madison County and Taylor County. That's 18 counties in Northwest Florida and the Big Bend area. The project I work on, which is a big project funded by the Florida Department of Health,
Okay.
under the Cancer Innovative Program, really.
Right.
Cancer Innovation Fund. This is the second year that the state has actually awarded money for people to bring their ideas to communities, to people's lives, and impact people in a positive way.
Right.
To improve the quality of life, to reduce the cost of health care.
Right.
The burden of cancer on our state economy is very profound, and that is something that needs to be addressed. I am elated and very, very encouraged by what I saw last year when we were awarded the grant, and we were invited actually to the governor's mansion.
Really?
Yep.
Well, and you know, when you think, when you say that, because we're going to talk about some events you got coming up this week, some days. Oh, wow. I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, now, I've had this commercial running all weekend long, heavy. I even got it on my social media. You need to make sure now, because do not allow an opportunity to pass when it's put there. If you don't know, get to be sure. Find out and be sure. Why? Because it's being done for you right here at home. So therefore, you don't have to worry about the fact. And I want to say that the screening is free.
The screening is free. However,
for a lower income.
For low income, uninsured persons.
Persons that are uninsured.
And persons that have a family history of cancer, for example.
Okay.
We know, it's well been documented, that persons with a family history of cancer are themselves predisposed to get cancer. The other thing we also know is 1 in every 8 women will get breast cancer in their lifetime.
1 in every 8?
1 in 8. And so one of the things that I do is when I go to a congregation, a church, a parish, I ask folks to take a look at themselves. Look around them. Look how many people are in the pews, and say, just imagine, if there are 64 people in a room, it means 8 of them
are going to.
We are going to be singing Amazing Grace, and that is, let's prolong and avoid that thing, prematurity of death happening very quickly. So we need to reduce that.
Do you think because of that word you just used, we can save lives? When we say that death won't, I mean, we can save you. Do you think that's a word that people have, death? When you think of cancer, the first thing that comes in that person's head, death.
Right. We hear that one of the worst words a person can hear when they go to a doctor appointment is the C word.
Is what?
The C word.
Oh, cancer.
No. Oh no, that's because it gives a person essentially a quick glimpse of like what life is about, as they know it's about to change completely.
Right.
Not only just for them, their family, their workspace, the ability to go to work, maintain a healthy, productive work life is impacted by a complicated disease with such profound, far-reaching impact.
Wow. Everybody, we're talking with Dr. Justice today from UWF in conjunction with the health department.
Yes, we are collaborating with the health department and the Big Bend AHEC in the Tallahassee area.
Right.
Quite active community agent and promoting awareness. We call it health literacy.
Right.
People understanding the determinants of health, what causes or contributes to these bad health outcomes.
Okay.
And 2, what can one do to minimize those risks?
Right.
And what steps can they take to get detection? The screening aspect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to reiterate this because of the fact that when Dr. Justice called me, I was so happy because this is something I want the community abroad to know about.
It is.
I want you to know about this and make sure. I can remember one time, and I will not call her name, but I was doing something talking about just like this.
Yep.
And she came back and said, I heard you.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got to screen it. They found something.
Yep.
And she came back to me and said, thank you for saving my life, that I was listening to you.
Yes.
The message that you were conveying, that I heard it. I got the screening. And everything is just fine now. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're trying to say today, friends. Don't just let this go by. Allow this to be that step to get you to where you need to be. Somebody just called, want to talk to us about this screening already, Dr. Justice. We take phone calls. Here we go.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine.
Good morning, sir.
I want to encourage Brother Justice. Brother Justice, I just put you on the prayer list at Office Depot last week.
Oh, really? Yes.
And I just want Brother Justice to understand that I had no idea that he was connected to you, but I saw him making prints, copies of that when we were in Office Depot. So, Brother Justice, supernatural blessings on you, man, because you one of my latest people on the prayer list. Uh-huh. And now I see you this morning sitting there with Sonshine. Hey, what you're doing for the ladies with their tatas, I'm like that too, because I got women all around me.
Right.
And men have breast cancer too, brother. Yeah, let them know that. God bless y'all. Bye-bye, Sonshine.
Thank you, Kingdom Walker. I mean, I've been on his prayer list. I've known him for a long time. He is such a great friend and such a genuine. And but when you think about that too, Dr. Justice, he just said something that I want. But men, they do get cancer too, breast cancer.
Sure, they do. Men do. That is, I say that is if I walk into a room and I see, especially when I look and say, okay, there's quite a bunch of guys, all right, I'm like, oh, this guy's. Yeah, he probably think he's too slick, he's like, oh, no.
Right.
I call them out on that aspect.
Exactly.
And in fact, for the events that are coming up on Wednesday, we are in Santa Rosa.
That's right.
8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Exactly.
I encourage the men, because there is something, when you ask a question about what is it that makes people not go for it, some part of it has to do with what level of support does this human being have, the woman in the family, in the home. Uh-huh. Do they have support to help them maybe get a ride to the testing place?
Right.
Do they have support for somebody to pick up kids who are coming out of school at 2:30 p.m. when their appointment is at 2:45?
Right.
And the driving distance is maybe 20 minutes.
Right.
So all those things together, they add up to create a brick wall.
Absolutely.
For people not being able to go to get treatment.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that we as a society, as a community, as individuals,
right,
thinking about. Am I my brother's keeper?
Come on now, that's it.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Absolutely.
That man who just called, yes, he's absolutely right. I was making copies, and he's probably just as funny as crazy as I am, but we struck a conversation.
Absolutely. That's Kingdom Walker. I love it.
It became quite, I could write a book.
See, Kingdom Walker, you got that magnetic force that just picks up.
Right. And for him to call, and those are the kind of people I love to roll with.
Right.
Because I know you are living.
Mm-hmm.
You are not just like a tree walking.
Oh, I like that.
You see?
He is living.
Right.
Not like a tree to just
walking.
Just working.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You see, he's got all these cliches. I wish I could write it down. When we met the other day, I was trying to remember some of the things he said. But the fact of it is so truthful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about something that's very much so prevalent in our communities, and that is breast cancer. That is a testing now that's going on that we're going to tell you what time it is, where it's going to be on Wednesday, so you can make plans to be there. And for the men, work with them. Get them there. Get them there. And I tell you, we will be back to talk even more about that. We got to run to break right now, but I tell you, if you've got questions for Dr. Justice, please call. And he's the man that can answer it right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sonshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sonshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Early detection saves lives. The Florida Department of Health and Gaston County Regional Florida Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program, they're hosting a mobile mammography event on Friday, May the 16th from 8 until 5 at the Gaston County Health Department at 278 LaSalle La Fall Drive, Quincy, Florida. Free or low-cost mammograms will be provided for eligible women 40 to 64. If you do not have health insurance or low income, to see if you qualify, call 850-743-6038.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
At Pensacola Habitat for Humanity, we believe every child should have a safe place to grow. That's why we work with you and the community to build not just a house, but a home.
She worked very hard to get this house. I really appreciate that because, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now.
When you help build a home, you build a future. Pensacola Habitat for Humanity.
And welcome back to this Monday edition of Sunshine's Corner, where we are keeping you informed of what's going on in our community that's beneficial to you. And as you know, this show is centered around the community, information, knowledge. Once you receive the knowledge, it gives you power. Now, what you got to do is apply the power, get there, and get tested. Get there, call the number, find out if you qualify, ages 40 to 60.
Ages 40 to 60.
Okay, if you are low income.
Low income or have a family history of cancer.
A family history of cancer.
Yep.
And or if you're not sure about how much, what kind of insurance you have.
Correct,
Okay.
no insurance. Yeah.
No insurance.
Especially people with no insurance, they got to come out. And I think if we give them the phone number for that to register is 850 316 2706. We call, and the program coordinator for the Regional Breast and Cervical Cancer Detection Program, who is based in Escambia County, Amber Hanna, will take your information, review it, and let the person know whether they qualify for this screening program for that event or not.
Okay, let's give them that number again. It's 850-316-2706.
Yep. That
you
is
can call
correct.
that number, and please do not hesitate. Get the dial-in.
Yes.
Find out what's the phone call. You could be sitting at your desk. Dial. Find out.
Dial the number.
Dial that number. See if you qualify. And if you do not have insurance, if you have cancer in your family, go to the event.
Correct.
Make sure that you're there.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Justice, when you say that, I see here you are partnered with this is going to be now for Wednesday. It's going to be in Santa Rosa County.
Wednesday we are all day long. The bus company that is contracted by the state.
Okay.
It's called 3D Nemolink, out of Tampa.
Okay.
They have 5 highly equipped buses that are probably each of them with over $5 million each. They all have, they are very highly expensive vehicles.
$5 million?
They are very highly expensive.
Whoa.
What these buses have is, I have toured the bus myself. It has one of the back rooms in the back is the actual 3D digital mammogram machine. There is a separate exam room. It is well laid out, well structured for one, the privacy aspect, 2, the actual exam that needs to take place for that day.
Okay.
This is actually this screening is for both breast and cervical cancer. I'm talking about breast cancer right now, but the event really is intended to cover any of those two things.
Right.
And cervical cancer is also one of the major problems that will be coming back again through the community, raising awareness and encouraging people to seek screening, because we can prevent a lot of the major problem and expenses by intervening way early.
But of course, let me ask you something, Dr. Justice. You just said something about it has a 3D screen.
Digital machine, yep.
Digital machine.
Yep.
And does that mean they can find out that quick?
It is more precise and can identify things far, far much better
than the
old stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you would want to see that. We are learning new things every day, and certainly even within that sphere of durable medical equipment development and refining or calibration, you do want to see that we are scaling up a little bit.
A lot.
As we're learning.
I mean, you're scaling up a lot, Doc. I mean, I look at that bus right there.
Correct. So it's the idea of we are reading up on these things. Well, let's not just read up on them. Let's use what we're learning from it.
Exactly. And then the fact that you say you got other things that you're going to be bringing back, even now, we're talking about breast cancer with this one, but even with the cervical cancer, all of that, you'll be doing that as
we're looking into that.
Okay.
We are working on that, and very much, because we exist at the University of West Florida, for example. We exist for our students, one. That's a great group of people we serve. But two, we are also there for this community.
Absolutely.
And our community stretches from here all the way to Key West.
Exactly.
So we have no boundary how far we go, and that's why I love the idea of what I work with our team is made up of as myself. I lead the big project, accompanied by Cynthia Harris from Florida A&M Institute for Public Health.
Oh, wow.
She's a great elder I have known for quite a while. Dr. Ramsey Salom from the University of Florida Health Cancer Center, NCI designated, meaning they are recognized actually by the by the federal government as one of the key institutions or centers around the country, albeit located in Florida.
Right.
As well as Dr. David Lee at the University of Miami School of Public College of Public Health. Correct.
Wow.
The key is about communicating with one another, setting goals that translate across linkages from this side of the band to the lower side of the band.
Right.
We are one state, one people.
Hold on. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, I think that's great because I love it how you connect the dots. I mean, when you connect the dots and communication is the key. When you talk about something, you can come up with a better answer. You can come up with something good.
Absolutely.
And I mean, look at that. I love you say from one side of the bend to the other side of the bend. I mean, but still, you're reaching everybody because this is this is so important. Mammograms are so important for the community. For ladies, please take this opportunity. This is going to be going on Wednesday, 8 to 5. Yes. And all you need to do is call 850-316-2706. I got that. I'm reading from the side, Doctor. But the fact, all this information that Dr. Justice is sharing, look at the time, and you are the research developer. Did I say that right?
Yes, there is an aspect of it that I come up with, which is you see the logo at the bottom. That
right.
Says NWF is kind of colorful, right?
It's very colorful.
But it's intentional.
See that? It's intentional. See that right at the bottom? See that?
The Northwest Florida Collaborative to Reduce Breast Cancer.
Oh, Northwest Florida Collaborative. Okay.
To reduce breast cancer.
To reduce breast cancer. So this is you.
That's yes. That's a $900,000 grant from the state that we're running. It's about to conclude at the end of June. However, we wrote it and proposing the state Like it agreed, and the idea is that is the foundation for us to go forward and look at other mechanisms, other places for funding to bring to our state.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is for our state, for our people.
For the state of Florida.
For the state of Florida.
I mean,
that's what
we
love.
This is such great information. Now, we're talking about this because we're talking about the remainder of this week that you're going to be doing
Correct.
things. Right?
Well, so the 3 events we have this week, we have Santa Rosa, Walton, and Gadsden County.
Right.
Then come June 6th, we have now been asked to come to Wakulla County and promote the one in Wakulla County, which I will be doing as soon as you give me my release pass.
I mean, but this is really, really good stuff. And I mean, I commend you. And it takes a lot for this kind of research and what you're doing and to bring it back to the community because it's so valuable. It is such a value that we need to take heed to, because when you read things, and I may not have the total understanding of it, but I read things that really affects my community. And I'm saying, I'm talking about the black community, but this is also for not just the black community, but anybody who wants to come. But I look at this, when it comes to our community, it is always said that even with, like you explained earlier about it may be in the 3rd or 4th stage. Instead of getting the early detection, which won't cost as much, and your chances are better.
Far much better.
Far much better than waiting
better.
And saying, oh, I didn't feel anything. Oh, I don't want to go because of the C word. Right. But that's when you should go.
That's what, earlier. And having those discussions in the family about what happened to grandma. Like, take me for example. I didn't see either of my grandmothers. One of them, I know how she died. The other one, all I know is she died. I think I was about maybe a year and a half after I was born, and she died up to today. And I never seen a picture of her. But I think studying, doing research in different aspects, not exactly on this, we begin to understand the very importance of information.
Exactly.
You know, the old thing of storytelling they use and had the vitality then. The books have a very important thing. Now we have computer archive files and all that stuff is important. But in the family, let's be open and share about what health issues go on in the family.
You know, you're making me think about something, because I'm doing I'm building my family tree.
Okay.
And I found out some things that had blown me away. I never got to meet my father's mother, my grandmother on that side, but I met my mother's mother. And but when you say that, and you're not just talking about, I don't even know how my grandmother died. The one I knew. I remember the phone call. But I do not know what was the reason, what would cause her death. Or was it natural or what, you know? But now you got more questions I'm going to do in all this research I'm doing.
Those things are very important in the family because there are other decisions that children, newer generations will make that may have a trigger effect on things that are actually in the family. How some kid is born and they say, well, he look like, well, that's how his great-grandfather looked like. Well, how come his father didn't look like his grandfather? Because the genes, things jump from one generation to the next, jump, and eventually it expresses itself. But what if it expresses itself at some point, but it's really a really ugly thing, like a disease gene? Then a kid born later on is a disease.
You're educating me on some stuff right now. I mean, I love the fact about the gene, how it goes there, it jump, then now all of a sudden they started.
They can. I mean, yeah, biologists will tell you that. Yeah.
Goodness gracious, my biology, that's why he's Dr. Justice. But
yeah, they will. Really, honestly, they sure will.
I mean, and all of this is, I mean, we're talking all of these medical things that I'm learning as well as you. But the fact of it is, Dr. Justice, they've got this great thing that's coming up with Florida Health coming up on Wednesday. I want that word to get out there and stay out there.
Correct. And by the breast cancer screening program, that is the state of Florida Department of Health.
Okay.
We do help them and raise awareness. They take names and sign, but I build the awareness to let people know, hey, let's think about, there's a hurricane here, we're looking at a hurricane coming, but you can be okay. Go talk to Mbahana. Mbahana will do that. Or if you are in the 9 counties around Jackson, coming all the way to Walton County, call Debwana Davis, who is in Jackson County in Mariana. I'll see her on Thursday.
You have a lot of, you move around. You do a lot.
We can't actually make a difference in people's lives. I think you mentioned research earlier. There are different types of research. There's some research that is just like in the lab, right?
Exactly.
They're very important. They are extremely important.
Absolutely.
But there's the other research that some of us do, which are people-based, people-oriented outside. Not that the other ones are not, they are also. But here, we come up with these phrases called translational research. We take what we knew, we learned from guys in the lab and say, if it worked in mice, maybe we can let's look at human beings, because the anatomy, not exactly that different.
We're not. Wait, Dr. Justin, we're going to come back and talk about we're not different from mice. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go to break and come back. But ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to see what Dr. Justice is going to say, how we're not that very much different from a mouse. Okay? Right here on Sunshine's Corner.
I plead the 50.
You finally found the perfect car in Racing Blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
Florida Department of Health breast cancer screening event in Santa Rosa County. With breast cancer, early detection saves lives. On May 14th from 8 a.m. until 5, the Florida Department of Health in Santa Rosa County will host a free mobile breast cancer screening event at Santa Rosa Health Department at 5527 Stewart Street. You're eligible if you are age 40 to 64, a citizen of Florida, and a resident of Florida that have no insurance. Free lunch will be provided. Register today by calling Amber at 850-316-2706.
It's baseball season. From heart-stopping plays to legendary victories, this is baseball at its finest. Grab your seat, bring your energy, and witness greatness live. Don't just watch it, feel it. The Pensacola Blue Wahoos are back, and you can watch Pensacola Blue Wahoos home games live on Fridays and Saturdays, only on Blab TV. Love the Blue Wahoos but can't watch? Get your tickets now.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority's state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
Then I'm like, I don't see the
tell you what now, you know what, I'm just talking because my earpiece fell out. But Dr. Justice and I was talking about something, why we are so into doing what we're doing. And I want to share, it's all about love. When we love our neighbor, the Bible teaches us that there are 10 commandments, but there's one that's greater than that one. He said it's love. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Yep. Love him first, but love your neighbor as yourself. And once you get this knowledge that we have, what we're doing right now is showing people that there is true love with the work that you're putting in. Why I focus so hard and so diligently, so honestly, so pure from the heart for the community is my love for the community.
It has to be, if one loves themselves and understand how they are still incomplete without the other beautiful threads of this mosaic, the tapestry of each and every one of our lives, the people around us, the people we meet. It's like the man who called earlier. There's a unique thing I like about, and I tell people, I say, yeah, I know some people may find it crazy about what I do. I love strangers.
Oh,
there is no attachment, okay?
Right.
But you meet a person and there, that authentic self is presented before you.
I like
what
that.
do
That's
you
true.
do with that?
That's so true.
You just can't help but love the human being.
That is so true. Kingdom Walker, you see, you the man. I mean, but but it's true. And that's something you said. It's like when you met him, he was a stranger, but there is a connection through that. There's
not anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And well, now, okay, I want to go back to that because I was talking about the love. Yeah, I want to go back to this rat. How we have.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of experiments are done on rats in the lab. They figure out.
Is that why we're so afraid of them?
Lisinopril for blood pressure works well in rats. Well, that's safe for rats. Well, let's try and find some few people.
Really? Okay, so
there are a lot of experiments that are done. So they're, like I said, basic research types. Basic research. They may catch a couple of fruit flies. Okay? And do
We've
research,
been educated people.
And do research on the fruit flies and figure out things happen. But that can actually create a little bit of a template and say, well, we can take this and see if we can develop it for people. And it works. It has worked.
Do you think there's ever going to be a cure for cancer? That's just off the wall.
I'm an optimistic person, and I believe in the ability of people to think and try out different things and employ a little reach as deep as they can for patience and keep working. Yeah, I think some of these things will eventually will, but it's going to take a while.
Exactly.
Everybody has to be patient. Understand?
I got you.
It's no one working this plan has all the knowledge.
I agree.
Because I mean,
some think they do.
Well,
I'm not going there today. Okay.
Right. Exactly. But
I'm not going there.
That's my honest. That's one of the things I try to do with people is just be absolutely honest with people.
Right.
The truth is nobody really knows has that answer. Right. If they did, probably, because a heck of us can keep secrets anyway, so somebody would have disclosed a secret already.
You got that right. That's the truth. They can't keep a secret if they wanted to.
Heck no.
I mean, but you know, Dr. Justice, just sitting here talking to you, and I'm seeing, I see the love for educating people, the steps in it, what it takes to take care of yourselves until we get a cure. What is it that sparked that interest in you to be such a spokesperson for women and helping to get ways for cancer?
Well, the foundational issue is I am the last born of the child of a man who I think I look at him so that was the most educated man I ever knew. Was my grandfather. His name was Nathaniel. He was born in a place called Walter Sisulu, South Africa.
Watkins?
Walter
Walter Sisulu.
Yeah,
Okay.
in South Africa.
Okay.
It's by the Eastern Cape of South Africa.
Okay.
But he was born a twin. The story is that his other twin died along with our great-grandmother. They died there.
Oh, at birth.
At birth. So,
I'm connecting. Okay.
but then later on, my grandfather, my father's mother, apparently died while giving birth to twins, 2 boys. One of them survived. I have his name in my car. It's a Coca-Cola is running this new thing where they put people's names on the Coke.
Yeah.
I bought one of the things yesterday. It's called James, was his name.
Mm-hmm.
He's only the youngest brother of my father that I knew, of my uncle. He died in 93. But his mother also died while giving birth to twins.
That's 3.
So that my great-grandmother,
Uh-huh.
my mother's grandmother, died while giving birth to my grandfather and his twin. But that grandfather, Nathaniel Lee, I saw him. He died when I was about 7 or 8, 1997. 1980, 77, he died in 1977.
Okay.
But I have a picture of him. He will sit under a shade of a tree like that. He's a very stoic man, but he was a very well-resourced guy. He had so many cattle, so many sheep, so many goats, so many donkeys, so many chickens. He built a dam that up to today sustains the lives of people in a remote area. He dug water wells. He built a school where at a time when the Europeans were coming to Africa, we're talking about very early.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And built a church. There is a church that exists. It's a Lutheran church congregation that I grew up in. The elementary school, I went there, first grade to grade 7. Then I went to another high school. And but then the story that's told in the family is when I was a kid, I was very ill. That everybody thought I was going to die. Everybody had given up. But he refused. He picked up this little kid and put him on his bike, and he rode the bike almost like an hour away to a guy who practiced herbal medication, natural herbs, alternative medicine, and faith healing. That's how I survived.
Really?
They say how I survived. And then, but when I was young, as I was growing up, when he becomes ill in the 70s, and I will always watch him. I'll watch him. But then I had the blessing of coming to the U.S. and going to school. As I'm going to school, anything I read, I'm always reading about how does this relate to me and you, and the brother sitting next to him. So I asked myself, what was it that made him refuse and fight so hard not to let this kid become one of the statistics for the global mortality rate for under 5 kids in that era? To me, my faith tells me he had to have been talking to God, or God was talking to him. And amazingly here, we see a very interesting interaction. He was listening to God, and God was listening to him. Not only listening to him, doing something about it, answering the prayer.
Absolutely.
And so that interpret that with the 2 aspects on both sides. My grandmother on my father's side died giving birth. My great-grandmother died while giving birth to this man who, in essence, is responsible for preserving this little kid for 56 years. I turned 56 2 nights ago.
Really?
Right. So that thing about the women, 2 women. My mother and my father separated when I was 2 years of age.
Okay.
My mother raised me.
Right.
My mother emptied her bank account. She was an elementary school teacher in 1993 when I told her, against all family and traditional cultural taboos in there, that I was going to leave and go to America. And they thought I was nuts. Because the youngest boy is not supposed to leave the family in our culture or the Sutu culture. Because when the parents get old, the youngest boy, the last boy, is the one to take care of them, and the home take care of the home.
Wow.
So I left. But the day I left, August 2nd, 1993, they sat me down and said, hey, go to school. If you come back home and we are not, one of us is not here, or both of us are not here, literally what they meant was, if you come back and we're both dead, don't do it, we'll be okay.
Exactly.
Now, they lived to be 98 and about 94.
Really?
They died very proud people.
But of course, I was like,
and
I mean, this is such a beautiful.
These things are about the concept of love, and we're a Lutheran family, and we have many preachers. Some of them want to become bishops of the Lutheran Church in Zimbabwe. The first one passed away 2 years ago. He and I were like this. He taught me a great lesson in 8th grade. The thing about freedom. He said, what is freedom? I thought I knew. I mean, I jumped off my chair and said, freedom, do what I want, whatever. He was wrong. That was 1985. Then we come up to 2 years ago. I knew he was not well. He was old and he developed cancer.
I see.
Prostate cancer.
I see.
So prostate, cervical, breast cancer. These things are really.
Yes, they are.
Strangling people.
I mean, every day. Hold on, Dr. Justin, we got to go take a break, but we're going to come back. But I see now, I'm connecting the dots when I ask that question, why is it so important? And I know you see it as well. I mean, this will inspire anybody. It should inspire you. Stay here with me, right here with Dr. Justice, and we got more to tell you about breast cancer on Sunshine's Corner.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
It's that time again. It's Animal Allies cat adoption time. Here are a few faces you might see. Meet these guys and more. Saturdays, May 3rd and 17th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Pet Supermarket. See you there!
Early detection saves lives. The Florida Department of Health and Jackson County's Regional Florida Breast and Cervical Cancer Early Detection Program, they're hosting a mobile mammography event on Thursday, May 15th, 8 until 5 p.m. at the Walton County Health Department at 361 North 10th Street, Jefuniak Springs. Free or low-cost mammograms will be provided to eligible women 40 to 64 who do not have health insurance or low income. To see if you qualify, call Ms. Davis at 850-526-2412, extension 206.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to this Monday edition of Sunshine's Corner. And I tell you, we are talking about something that's so profound in our community. Florida breast cancer mammogram screening. It's going to be going on. We got some things over here. Yep. But they'll be taking place Wednesday in Santa Rosa County, 8 to 5 p.m. And I would encourage people between the ages of 40 and 60, no insurance, breast cancer in your family history, or low income. Call this number, please, 850-316-2706, 850-316-2706, and to book an appointment for this Wednesday, where I believe this, early detection saves lives. And I mean, this is the thing that needs to be done.
Yep.
And somebody want to ask a question of us, Doctor. Somebody just called. Let's see who this is. Want to talk to us.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonshine. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
I wanted to just ask Dr. Justice. We see that he's wearing a mask, and I was just wondering, do we need to be still continuing to wear a mask, or are he just doing it because of the patients and stuff that he may be around? Like, I just wanted to a little update on that.
Yeah, ask it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for calling, sir, and that's a good question. I think at the beginning, Sonshine didn't quite say it, but I don't think he needed to. I am an epidemiologist. Mm-hmm. Epidemiologists are people who study diseases, how diseases start, how they distribute, and how best we can prevent and control them. I have a very close friend, an elder person. We have just gone through with that family a whole host of experiences, not very pleasant.
Right.
I know the mask is associated largely with COVID. However, while COVID has subsided significantly, and thank you a great deal to many of the government structures and public health systems, COVID still remains.
Absolutely.
For the elderly people who have chronic conditions, I take the measure of wearing a mask every time, because I got to be able to go and check on this person and feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
That's essentially it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Martin, you see how, this Dr. Justice is so knowledgeable. It is just unbelievable. And have you not learned something today?
I have learned so much. He is very informative. The information that he provided is such needed. We definitely need him back on the show again to give us some more information that's out there, because the information he has, he can only provide so much in a short amount of time. So I know that he has more to give.
Oh, God, yes. And I've been educated. You ever see me be this quiet?
No.
Because he is teaching me today so much, and I'm learning so much. And but I want to reiterate something that Dr. Justice just said. He wears that mask for reasons, whereas so that he can make sure that you can continue with the person that you're encountered with, so that even if there is that you're being protected, but yet giving your best services. I love that, and you know what I'm saying. That is beautiful, but because sometimes, and I'm a believer, because there are certain places that I go now, Dr. Justice. Ever since COVID hit, I still do a mask.
Correct. And I interact with a lot of people.
Yes.
And I got 2 kids who are high school. They go to 2 different schools. So they're always...
oh, God, yes.
It's always... And that interaction and mixing and mingling in different places. And some of us sometimes in our society, we won't tell you that I actually just...
Exactly. Exactly. The fungus. I love it. See, I'm learning more words to use than just saying that. If you have the fungus, just let me know you have the fungus. I love it. But thank you.
Yesterday I interacted with somebody actually who is positive, COVID positive.
Right.
But I thanked him because he was wearing a mask, and I said, you actually care about the next person.
Exactly.
And he
exactly.
did.
Exactly.
He was very good.
And I am so grateful to God, I never got it.
Yep.
I never got the fungus.
You never did. The virus.
I never got it. But Dr. Martin, thank you so much for viewing it and calling in today.
Thank you. Continue to do this dance work that you're providing for the community. We love it.
All right. Thank you, love. Bye-bye. And I tell you, but we're down to 3 minutes. It doesn't seem like we've talked an hour. Yeah. But it is. But what I want to bring up again is the fact that Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, Santa Rosa County, and that address for the screening that day is at 5527 Stewart Street. Mm-hmm. That's right there in Milton.
Correct.
So please dial this number, 850-316-2706, and find out if you're eligible. The only way you'll know is you got to call. The only time you're going to not know, if you just keep that phone, well, I don't think so. Don't let it be too late. Check and see.
Absolutely.
Check and see.
The state is providing the service to the community, to the region.
That's right.
This bus is going to be here on Wednesday, Thursday. It shifts to Walton County.
That's right.
Spring. I have the pleasure of always being at this event. It gives you a great deal of gratitude and satisfaction when you see how many people come.
Exactly.
This same bus, by the way, was at Hope and Health Clinic on February 20th. 40 people registered for that day. Wow. 38 of them came out in those frigid temperatures. Mm-hmm. That day was brutal.
I can imagine. Yes, right? It was.
And I got to see that, and the day before I got to see it again in Jackson County because it was in Mariana. Uh-huh. The beautiful city of Mariana folks brought the outdoor large heaters to warm up the space because it was cold.
I can imagine.
But people came.
Absolutely. People and that's what we want to have. We're down to the last minute. And that's what we're having out for Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to watch the show. Continue to watch the show because of the fact it's going to be screenings every day. We're going to tell you where they are, how you can be a part. But I want you to make sure that on Wednesday you show up at the Santa Rosa County at 5527 Stewart Street in Milton. Better yet, call today at 850-316-2706. Please do that today. Do yourself a favor. Dr. Justice, I cannot thank you enough. And believe me, this is not the last time you're going to be here with me. You'll be back with more. I guarantee you. Thank you. Leaving you as I do every day, ladies and gentlemen. Never ever lose your focus. Always remember now, if you keep God first in whatever you do, I guarantee you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow at 9 o'clock, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.